My name is Echo, and tonight I'll tell you a story that most wish they never heard, because once you know it, the room knows you too. Ethan was 22 when he moved into the old hostel, the kind of building that looked like it had been there forever, leaning, sagging, as though tired of holding itself up. The paint was peeling, the wood swollen from years of damp. The hallways smelled of mold and mothballs, of things that should have been thrown away long ago, but weren't. The landlord was a gaunt old man with watery eyes. He slid the key across the desk without looking at Ethan and muttered one thing under his breath. "Not room 6. Don't ever take room 6. But when Ethan asked for a room, the old man shook his head. All booked, every single one, except room 6. Ethan laughed it off. He thought the warning was just some local superstition. Old men loved their ghost stories. And besides, Ethan was young, broke, and didn't care. He signed the paper, took the key, and climbed the crooked staircase to the second floor. The door to room 6 felt wrong from the start. Heavy, too heavy. The key was ice cold in his hand, like it had been sitting in snow. When he turned it in the lock, the sound echoed down the hall louder than it should have. And then the door opened. The air inside was stale, thick, as if no one had breathed there for decades. The room was bare except for a bed with a thin mattress, a desk with one broken leg, and leaning against the wall, an old mirror whose edges had turned black with decay. He stepped inside. The floor groaned under his weight. The window was sealed shut, painted over so many times that it might as well have been a wall. He told himself it was fine. He just needed a place to sleep. Just one night. But then, as he was unpacking his bag, he looked up and froze. The mirror was wrong. It reflected the room, yes, the bed, the desk, himself. But in the reflection, in the far corner, there was a chair. A wooden chair. When he turned, the corner was empty. No chair. He blinked, rubbed his eyes, looked back at the mirror. The chair was still there, waiting, silent, as if it had always belonged. A chill ran through him, but he shook it off. Mirrors warp. Reflections play tricks. That's all it was. He laughed nervously, shoved his bag under the bed, and lay down. That night, he woke to a sound. Scratch. 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 At first, he thought it was rats, but the sound wasn't random. It was steady, intentional, like fingernails dragging slowly across the inside of the wall. He sat up, listening, heart pounding. The sound stopped. He waited. Silence. Minutes passed. Finally, he lay back down. And that's when the dream came. He was sitting in the chair from the mirror, his arms bound, his body heavy, his throat dry. He tried to scream but couldn't. His voice was gone. And behind him, he felt it. Something tall, something wrong. Its presence pressed down on him like lead. He forced his eyes up, desperate to see. And there it was. A figure. Its face empty, hollow, with nothing but 2 black holes for eyes. It leaned closer, the darkness of its eyes swallowing him whole. He woke up gasping. His shirt was drenched in sweat. He forced himself to look into the corner, and his heart dropped. The chair was there now, in the room. He sat awake until dawn, refusing to look away. When the first pale light seeped through the cracks of the painted window, the chair was gone. The next day he told himself it was just exhaustion, just stress. He kept the lights on all evening, trying to laugh at himself, but deep down, he was terrified to close his eyes. That night, the scratching returned, louder, faster. The walls seemed to breathe with it, swelling in and out as if the building itself were alive. And then, the knock. Soft, deliberate. Knock, knock, knock. He froze. His voice cracked as he whispered, "Who's there?" For a moment, nothing. Then a voice. A child's voice. Soft, broken, fragile. "Can we come in, please? We're so cold." His breath caught in his throat. Slowly, against every instinct, he turned his head toward the mirror, and his stomach clenched. They were already inside. 2 children, standing behind him. Pale faces, gray skin, their lips blue, cracked, and their eyes completely black, endless pits. They were smiling. He spun around. The room was empty, but when he turned back, the chair had moved again. It wasn't facing him anymore. It was facing the mirror. And in the mirror, Ethan saw something that broke his mind. He saw himself still asleep in the bed, his chest rising and falling, but his real body, his awake body, wasn't in the reflection at all. No. In the reflection, he was still tied to the chair, and the faceless thing with black holes for eyes was standing right behind him. They say some rooms don't just shelter you. They swallow you. And once you're inside, they never let you leave. But this was only the beginning. What waits in the second part will change how you look at every room you enter. Wait for part 2, if you dare.